Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Virtual Racing Network. As you can see on the screen, we're here at Talladega Super Speedway for the Northwest Xfinity Series. This is playoff race number 1 in rounds 1 of 3. We'll see who will make it to the Final Four. We won't know tonight, but what we will know is who is going to be sitting in victory lane 60 laps from the start of this race, coming up in about 25 minutes or so, roughly around 30 minutes with qualifying and everything. But before we get into all of the racing information and all the point standings we have to go over here tonight, we want to jump on over to thank the sponsors here for tonight's race. Those are, of course, ourselves here at Virtual Racing Network, coming on board here for the 2018 season, and of course pulling double duty for the race and for the broadcast. That is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com, especially here in the month. It's almost over now, but make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com for No Shave November here. Get some beard balm product, all natural and organic product. Great stuff and a great sponsor here for VRN and for this race. And of course, on the broadcast side of things, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the rest of our partners as well. Northwest Racing Series, the very series you're watching right now, is the official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race. So make sure you check them out, obviously here, and if you're in the Northwest, you can look in getting to that or this league as well. Ohio IndyCar League, if you're looking to get into some IndyCar racing, there is no better league to go to than Ohio IndyCar League. Make sure you check them out for all the latest information on Facebook. Just head on over there and go to facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for custom-made button boxes and those e-brakes for the Rallycross racing, and there is an ever-expanding list of Rallycross tracks, so make sure, again, you head over there and pick up one or both of those items today. And last but not least, that is iBog. All our overlays here at our VRN are made from Jason Allison over at iBog. So if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays for streaming iRacing, head on over to ibog.co to get started. Alright, having a bit of a coughing fit going on here. We do apologize for that. We have about 17 minutes left to go before we get this thing going. We will be talking to at least one of our chase drivers here for tonight's race. Again, the playoffs have officially started here for tonight. This is race number 1 of 3 here in round number 1. So we'll go over that real quick so everybody knows exactly what's coming up. We do have Talladega here tonight, followed by Dover and then Auto Club. So 3 distinct different tracks here in round 1 of the elimination. And then we go into next week. After that, the next round 2, we have Iowa, New Hampshire, and Homestead. So 2 pretty short tracks, and then Homestead. They're not ending with Homestead here. And then the championship round, that will be Chicagoland, the Windy City. So a little bit different here, mixing it up. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Chicagoland plays out come January 21st. So we'll definitely be waiting to see that. But before we get into all of that information, we want to pull up your point standings here for tonight's race, coming into this race anyway. This is how they look up. Your points leaders, or the chase drivers, are the ones you see that have over 1,000 points. So you have Jeff Stabnow right now is currently your leader, but he's actually tied with Jason Berg with 1,003 points. Again, this is coming into tonight's race. Right behind them in third, Sean Breitzman minus 1 point, 1,002. Chris White and Josh Coley, as well as Mark Walls, all tied for 4th with 1,001 points, 2 points behind Jeff Stabnow and Jason Berg. And then, of course, you have Brian Barnes and Corey Walters with 1,000 points. 3 points out behind Jason Berg and Jeff Stabnow. Again, those bonus points you see, the difference there is based off of wins. Jeff Stabnow, Jason Berg both have 3 wins, so they have 3 bonus points. Then you see 2, 1, and none. That's why Brian Barnes, Corey Walters, they are in on points, not on race wins. That is why you see those drivers with no bonus points. So that is how that breaks down. Then you have, of course, James Paulson, who I'm not sure is here tonight. John Ottenbacher just outside the chase, didn't quite make it. He's back in 10th place right now with 329 points. If James Paulson is not here, he very well could close that gap. I don't think he'll have enough to pass him here tonight. We'll see. Andy Vogt is not here, so he will probably fall back. William Fletcher is here. I don't see Gary Nichols here either, so a couple of drivers not making it there. Stephen Paulson, I have not seen him, and I corrected. James Paulson is here now, so James Paulson is here, but Stephen Paulson is not. So got those two reversed there. Frank Harris no longer with us. James Thurston no longer with us. Chris Walters is here. Ray Fournier, Seth Frazier, and Brett Johnson is not here, but those others are. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. These points will shake it up a little bit, but really our focus is those top 8 drivers coming into tonight's race. Obviously, with a tie between Jeff Stabnow and Jason Berg, one of them will walk away with the points lead when this night is over, unless by some freak chance they can manage to tie it up again. The odds of that happening are not very good. They're pretty slim there, slim to none almost. So we'll be watching it. It is possible, but I don't see it happening. We'll see. Maybe Chris White can get by Sean Brightsman, or even Josh Coley gets by Sean Brightsman. There's no possible way those are not going to shake up here unless they start and finish in the exact place where they are now and nobody gets any bonus points. We know that's not going to happen here tonight, so we'll go ahead and take that off of your screen. We got about 13 minutes, just under 13 minutes left on the clock before we get this thing going. So we want to talk to at least one of our chase drivers here. And it looks like the top driver here in practice is going to be Jeff Stabnow again, as we seem to talk to him quite often. But our formula for picking is just literally the top driver in practice as far as speed, even though it really doesn't matter here at this track. It's going to be a drafting track, but that is how we pick them. In this case, we're going with the top chase driver, not the fastest driver overall. So we'll see if he is free, and he is indeed, so we'll get him down here. Jeff, welcome to the booth. As we were just telling people how we go about picking who we bring to the booth here for the pre-race show. While Chris Walters is currently faster, speed really isn't that big of a thing here. It's going to be a lot about drafting. But you are the fastest anyway as far as the chase drivers. So first, welcome to the booth. And you got to ask that question, what would it do to get that win here tonight to secure yourself in the round 2?
Oh, we got the win here last year, and it kind of vaulted us to the championship. So I think getting that first win under your belt is huge. Just taking that pressure off and being able to go out and run those races when the pressure's on, it's kind of a lot more difficult because you got a lot of guys there those last 2 races that are feeling the pressure, and it's kind of nice to be able to just go out there and cruise. So big deal to win this first race.
Well, if I recall last season, out of the chase races, there's 7 of them. If I recall correctly, I believe you won 5 out of the 7 races or something like that. It was a big number percentage-wise. So are you looking to duplicate that again this season? And, like you said, put the pressure on these other drivers to have to get in on points?
Well, I mean, last year we just had a phenomenal run. It was actually 6 out of the 7, but this is a completely different group of guys. I mean, that was first year for the Xfinity. We got Jason Berg, who's just ridiculously good running here. Sean Brightsman, who's a phenomenal driver, been dominating in the truck series for years. Didn't run over here last year. He's over here now. Mark Walls, who's in the Northwest Race Series, I think he's got like a 40% win rate. 100 and some races, and he's got over 40 wins. So he's running over here this year. We got Josh Coley, who's a rookie, first full-time season, but he's been running other sims for years, and man, he just puts in a ton of hours, and he's crazy fast. So you know, you got Brian Barnes, who's been doing this for years, and has always been a tough competitor. The list goes on. Last year, and nothing against the guys we were running with, but you know, we got 3-4 guys that are as good or better than any of us that were running in this chase last year. So, well, I'd love to score 5 or 6 wins. I don't even think that's possible.
Well, speaking of possible and not possible, we were going through the standings here just before we brought you in here, and the likelihood of you and Jason Berg staying tied in the points is possible. It is physically possible, but very unlikely. So, you know, even if you can't get the win, would it, in your mind, give you that little bit of an edge if you could at least get that 1 or 2 point lead over him, and not being tied for the points lead?
I think right. Obviously, the goal is to advance. If we reset on the next round, it really doesn't matter. You know, if Jason Berg and I go into the next round, we only count regular season wins as bonuses. So any round that Jason Berg and I go to, we'll reset to the same level. You know, in the next round too. So it really doesn't matter points wise. You just got to be above the bottom 2 spots, right? You don't want to be in one of those bottom 2 cut spots. So either you win and just end all the pressure and transfer and get to go and work on things, and that's the nice thing about winning is you go work on your deficiencies. You don't have to worry about, you know, a particular race. You know, or you just, you know, you try to top 4, top 5 it. Just stay above that cut line. That's really all you're worried about in this round.
Well, it definitely is. And we asked this question in the little preview show that we did, but we're going to ask you the last question before we let you thank your sponsors and shout outs real quick, is if you get that win here tonight, you look forward to round 2. A quick version of that long answer we probably got there was, are you going to focus on one track and put all your eggs in that basket, or are you going to spread out your time amongst 3 of the tracks and try to even it out?
Well, I think I think you know, we're good enough here that we don't really need to put all of our eggs in one basket. So we'll just give 100% focus to the week at hand and see if we can't go out and win that race. The problem with putting all your eggs in one basket is if you miss, you're probably not going to do good at those other tracks either, right? That's almost feels like a desperation play. So for us, we'll give 100% effort to the week ahead. Next week, we're just 100% Dover. The week after that, we'll give Auto Club everything we got, and if we advance to the next round, then I think it's Iowa. I can't remember what the next track is. Then we'll focus on that. So no, we're not just going to pick one track in a round and circle that date. We're just going to put everything we got that week at the track on the schedule.
Well, definitely a good strategy. We got about 6.5 minutes, so we'll let you thank your sponsors, shout-outs, and then we'll get you back to practice.
Well, you know, as always, VRN sponsored a chase. Sponsored quite a few races this year. Partnered with us to put all the league together and the broadcast. So I know you've been working your butt off here lately, trying to get the quality of your streams fixed, chasing down some ghosts. I think you made some good progress. So hats off to you, Charles, and all the work that you put into this thing. And then, of course, Walls Beard Co. guys. You know, been supporting sim racing for a long time. You know, we say it, but it's true. We wouldn't be here without them. So www.wallsbeardco.com. We got the holiday season coming up. They got little $12 tins and, I don't know, $8 tins and very inexpensive gifts for the guy with the beard. So think about them this holiday season. And other than that, just big shout out to the teammates, man.
All right. Well, again, for anyone tuning in there tonight, that was the 24 of Jeff Stab. Now, we'll be right back here in 30 seconds as we will go over some last-minute information, and we'll get ready to go to qualifying. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got just under 5 minutes, just about 4.5 minutes left before we get into qualifying. Again, we have so much that is going on here tonight. This is a 2.65 mile track. We have 60 laps around this track. 4 turns. The wind here 2 miles per hour out of the north. With the air temp of 78 degrees and a track temp of 86 degrees. So a little bit warmer track than the air temp. We'll see how that plays out. Again, these tires are not going to be an issue. We're figuring on fuel based on the 60% load that they're carrying here for tonight's race. Will roughly be somewhere in the 20 to 22 lap range. It will be a 2-stop race here, roughly in the 20 and 40 lap area, or 22 and 44, depending on when they want to come down. Regardless, it's going to be a 2-stop race here tonight. So that much we do know for sure. So we'll be waiting to see how this one does play out, as we'll go ahead and bring this up. This is the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff Race 160 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Here in practice so far, the fastest time is set by, I believe that's Chris. Chris Walters, as we have Chris and Corey Walters. So Chris Walters with a 49.504 on his 17th lap. Of course, that will kind of change once we get going. I'm sure they'll run a little bit faster than that. We'll see what the fastest lap is later on tonight. What we do want to pull up is our Chase ticker here. As you can see on the screen, anyone that has a Chase driver bar next to their name is in the Chase. So that will indicate where they are. Also, they're in the order where they are on the track, too. So we'll leave that up here throughout the night as well. Because really the differential between positions is going to be so minute that they're going to be side by side and probably even 3 wide, that we can keep this up there a little bit more here tonight. We are just coming up just about time for the national anthem, but before we get over there, we do want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. So a big shout out to everyone that is watching here. I know it's a late night race, but thanks for tuning in. As again, we'll only mention it once here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified of all upcoming races. Of course, if you like the race, hit the thumbs up button. And only once we'll mention it. If you want to be a little bit more part of the channel here, help VRN do what we do, there is a donation button on there, or a link that will pop up periodically throughout chat. If you want to donate, you can. You do not have to, so do not feel obligated to. It is strictly if you want to. That being said, though, we're going to step away to the national anthem, and we will be right back with qualifying coming up next.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back, and qualifying is officially underway. As we're going to drop down there to the track with them, as it looks like Jeff Stabnow is going to be one of the first drivers out. He's not the only one. We got Jason Burke coming out, Mark Walls, Dell Winenberg, Daniel Masters, a new driver here, the rookie here in this race, as this is his first race. We also have Donovan Stevens, Chris White, John Ottenbacher, Seth Frazier, and James Paulson out on the track. So we're going to go ahead and bring up qualifying, as that is your top 20. We don't have 20 drivers here tonight, so that is closest to the top 20 as we'll get, as Jason Berg out on the track. We'll go ahead and bring up your driver bar. As you can see, he is one of our chase drivers here tonight. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of times he's going to be putting in here tonight. I would imagine it's going to be a pretty fast time. We'll just have to wait and see. And also, as Jeff mentioned, we are keeping an eye on those little spikes here with our upload. It looks like for the most part we're keeping a steady signal here. We do see some spikes that we're going to have to address with our internet provider. But all looks really good here for the most part. So that is definitely a good thing, as we are not getting near the pixelation that we were before. Nobody has officially put in a time. They are on their warm-up lap right now, as it is currently Jason Berg that we are watching. Chris Walters out on the track as well. As soon as times start rolling in, we'll run through them, let you know who's sitting where. As you can also see it on your screen with our new qualifying thing drop down right below your league logo and our flag right above that. Definitely loving the new overlays here, as it's going to be Daniel Masters to the top with a 54.348, but he's not going to hold it, because there goes Donovan Stevens in that 38 machine with a 54.342 to put himself at the top of the charts. So definitely a very fast run here for Donovan Stevens. And it's going to be Chris White that takes it to the top now, who, again, one of our chase drivers, 53.921, the first 53 second lap to go in. These other drivers will put 53 laps in, or second laps in. That is not going to be exclusive to Chris White. I have a feeling others will do so as well. Seth Frazier with a 54.359 on his last lap in that number 32 machine. He is not one of our chase drivers, but a very fast driver that you cannot count out at any time. There's Dell Winenberg, 53.530. That is correction. He's going to be dropped now with a 548. It's going to be Daniel Masters in that 5 machine, the rookie here tonight with a 53.530. He will take it to the slots. One spot behind him, 53.531, 0.001 seconds behind him is Donovan Stevens, but it's going to change again as Jason Berg takes it to first, bump to second with a 53.505, as Mark Walls is going to take that number 48 machine to the top of the charts with a 53.500, 0.004 ahead of Jason Berg, both being chase drivers here tonight. What a run for Mark Walls in that number 48 machine, with Jeff Stabnow still out on the track, currently at 54.468. He definitely needs to pick up the pace here just a little bit if he wants to get that 53 second time. I do see he ran a 53.552, and I'm going to believe he probably scratched the wall or something happened on that lap to invalidate that time. So very interesting there, but it looks like William Fletcher, Brian Barnes, Ray Fournier, and Josh Coley are not going to qualify here, as we see Chris Walters in that 36 machine, currently 9th fastest, now 10th fastest, as it looks like Corey Walters is going to jump to 7th with a 53.566 on his last lap. Again, they have 2 laps, and that was his second lap. He will jump to 7th place, knocking everyone down just a few spots. So very interesting to see Jeff Stabnow sitting back in 13th place. This is not a spot we are used to seeing him in. And we just talked about him, how important the win is here. But the good news is it's a super speedway track. You can easily get to the front Qualifying really isn't that important here. Sean Brightsman jumps to third with the 53.517. But again, qualifying, not all that important. The biggest part of qualifying here at a super speedway track isn't necessarily where you start. It's that pit stop, or during pit stops. If you can get that early pit stop or further up in there, first, second, third, it's nice to have that last pit stop, especially if it's under caution. But again, that is one of the biggest keys to that. So it's not necessarily about where you start this race, because believe me, you'll see these guys changing spots a lot. We got about 4 minutes left on the clock here, as Sean Brightsman just maybe doing a pit stop here just to practice, as he is coming down pit road. He is the only one left on the track right now, as again William Fletcher, Brian Barnes, Ray Fournier, and Josh Coley are not going to be coming down. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the driver bar here. Let's see if we can't pull a driver up here real quick and talk to him, as we are going to talk. Let's see if we can get Josh Coley up here real quick. Josh Coley, you got a copy? Josh Coley, this is Charles in the booth. Got a copy? All right, it looks like we are unable to get a word in with him. But we know we talked to him earlier, and he said that he may choose the strategy of not qualifying here tonight to start in the back, see if he can avoid any accidents that are going to happen earlier in the race, and then work his way through this field, picking spots off one at a time. Looks like that is the strategy he is going to deploy here tonight. Again, if you're just tuning in with us here, this is a 60-lap race, so you have plenty of time to get to the front. And we'll see some really good racing here. Will we see 1 caution, 2 cautions? Will we see 10 cautions? We don't know. What we do know is here in about 2.5 minutes, we're going to see some good racing. So again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. It looks like, at least in chat, we had, I believe, Rudy, if that was who was under Max Speed TV title. So if it is Rudy or KR, welcome. So those are the 2 that we know over there from Max Speed TV. So if it is one of y'all, welcome to a chat, and of course everyone else that's out there watching as well. 2 minutes on the clock here, as we're getting notification here that Jeff got a black flag on a pit exit. So that is the why that lap did not count. We figured he had something that happened on that lap, as maybe just a slight scrape, and anything, even a 0x can invalidate your lap. But there you have it. It was a black flag on pit exits. Is why Jeff Stabnow had the qualifying run he did. So he'll be fighting his way through this field as well. So he'll be back here with Josh Coley. We'll have to see. I know Josh will be starting. He is a chase driver. Ray Fournier, Brian Barnes, William Fletcher. Brian Barnes is a chase driver as well, so I figure he'll start. William Fletcher, we'll see if he does, as I have a feeling he will. And Ray Fournier, I know this is his time. He loves to come in here and race. It's kind of a relax and freedom time for him. So a big shout out to Ray Fournier. Again, for anyone that isn't aware, earlier we had a GoFundMe going for him. Just a great driver. Good to see him here still racing. Just awesome driver, awesome spirits. He never gives up. He comes back week after week and puts on a good show for the fans. But that being said, we got about 30 seconds left here before qualifying is over. So we're going to step away for those 30 seconds, and we'll be right back with your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as they are taking to the grid, and we currently have 17 drivers that have made the trip here to the race tonight. We have plenty of time to go through the grid, so we'll wait till they start rolling to officially go through the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. Even though the logo's not in there, we are working on new overlays here. Hopefully the new information we are getting out to you, the fans, you do like, and let us know in the chat if there's anything you want to see in the overlays, and if at all possible, we will try to get it in there. That is why we're in the building stages right now, to better make the information for the fans, anyone out there watching later on, make it enjoyable for them. That is why we do this. If it wasn't for the fans, of course, there'd be no point in us being here. Obviously you fans make it worth our while to do this week in and week out. It looks like we got Sean Brightsman, Chris White, Jeff Stabnow, Brian Barnes, and William Fletcher left to grid, and then we will be set to go here. So we'll see. Obviously these drivers will be starting here. And again, we'll wait to see if William Fletcher does start, as I have a feeling he probably will. We know Ray Fournier is. He is back in 17th right now. Josh Coley back in 15th. Brian Barnes 14th. Two of our chase drivers here for tonight. As it looks like everyone but William Fletcher have taken to the grid, and it looks like he's going to miss the grid as we are set to go pacing. And there it is, we are going pacing. So let's go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. On row 1 is going to be the 48 of Mark Walls and the 21 of Jason Berg, both chase drivers coming into tonight's race. Row 2 is going to be the 46 of Sean Brightsman, another chase driver, and the 5 of Daniel Masters, a rookie here in tonight's race. Row 3 is going to be the 38 of Donovan Stevens and the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Row 4 is going to be the 73 of Dell Winneberg and another chase driver, the 9 of Corey Walters. Row 5 is going to be the 32 of Seth Frazier and another chase driver in that 00 machine of Chris White. Row 6 is going to be the 36 of Chris Walters and the 30 of James Paulson. Row 7 consisting of two very, very fast chase drivers, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow and the 4 of Brian Barnes. Row 8 is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley, another one of our chase drivers, and the 28 of William Fletcher, who is not starting here tonight. And then rounding out the field in 17th on the last row here on row 9 is the 26 of Ray Fournier. He is starting, so he'll actually be bumping up to row 8. As that will do it here for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. We'll get rid of that, and we will get ready to go racing here tonight, as they are just about ready to take the green flag. We'll actually zoom out here for just a minute so you can get a wider view of these cars. And we'll zoom in from time to time as the green flag is just about ready to drop. Pace car will be diving off right about now. As you can see, there it is, the front stretch. Pace car already making the trip off, and a very slow drive off of the track compared to some. But nevertheless, they have a little bit to go here, as it's still quite a ways down before we get to the start-finish line. As you can see, they still have not hit that area for that green flag to come out just yet. This is the first start of this race. There it is. Green flag is out. We are racing here for the Walls Beard Co. Chase kickoff race 160 here at Talladega Super Speedway. We'll put your top 3 up on the top. As you can see, they are sorting it out here, and I really figured we'd stay more double file longer. But that is not the case here. But it looks like we will have some drivers starting to shake it up here pretty soon, as nobody wants to stay in the back. But they also know in the back of their head they have 60 laps to get to the front. They don't have to push anything anytime soon. they can very easily just take their time. There's no need to rush anything. The drivers we're going to be watching here very closely are those chase drivers. As we talked about, we're going to go ahead and put that chase ticker up on the screen so you can know what position they are in and if they are a chase driver or not. But right now, this race belongs to John Ottenbacher, who's got his teammates Mark Walls pushing him, and then behind them is Chris White. He's probably going to maybe work with him a little bit. Probably not. Those are chase drivers that are contending against each other. I expect to see that 00 possibly pull out and try to work with the 21 of Jason Berg if he can. I don't see why he wouldn't. So far he hasn't, though. I'm really surprised. But again, we're early in this race, so we'll see. Will Chris White take his 00 machine and pull out in front of the 21 and try to make something happen there? There's actually more cars pushing on that outside right now. If he did, he could probably take the lead. But the question is, does he know what that line looks like behind him? It's stuff you can't see inside the car that we can see here in the booth. So we'll see if he does indeed. The question is, if he does, though, the 46 is actually going to do it first of Sean Breitzman. So Breitzman separating from his team to go up high. Although what he could like to do is lead this pack. If you could get up there and have the 32 push you as well. That's Seth Frazier, Jason Berg. If these guys can push him to the front, that will be Wicked Chassis Racing. That is the front two as Mark Walls tries to get up there. Can't make it happen. Now they're 3 wide. They got the 32 stuck in the middle by himself. And you have Sean Breitzman, Jason Berg, and the 38 of Donovan Stevens. All right, there. And now it's going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman that gets hung out to dry on the third row. That is not what they planned. I'm sure that is not there, but actually I stand corrected. We may have to talk to him. That very well could have been a planned move as he goes back there and picks up his teammate, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Again, a 50-50 shot that was planned or it just worked out that way. Either way, whether it was a planned move or not, he has caught up to his, went back and caught his teammate, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. So we'll see if he can get back to the front with the help of that teammate. Obviously, having somebody to work with is going to help out a lot better. Meanwhile, the 32 of Seth Frazier currently, well, he was your leader, not anymore. Your fastest lap currently is Seth Frazier on lap 2. Here we are on lap 4. Will that change when they come by the line? And who's going to lead this lap right now? Ottenbacher has led every single lap, and it looks like he's possibly going to lead this one. I don't know. We'll see coming to the line. Oh, it is going to be Ottenbacher to lead his 4th lap, but it was not that far from letting Seth Frazier lead that lap there for lap number 4. Again, we told you they'd be really good racing, and it's proving to be just that. These guys are so good at what they do that I don't think we're going to see too many cautions. I expect to see at least 1, maybe 2 cautions. I'm not counting that out. They're good, but we'll see just how good, as we are still having a little pixelation issue here, though. So we do apologize for that, as we are still getting that issue. It looks like it's not quite as bad, though, so that is good. But obviously we still have some work to do on that end. But again, it doesn't look as bad as it has been in the past. So that is definitely a good thing here. Let's zoom in here just a little bit and see the cars as they are right now. And you can see them up close. You have the 21 of Jason Berg pushing the 32 of Seth Frazier. But no match right now for the 89 and the 48 of John Ottenbacher and Mark Walls, as they are teammates. They're going to push each other very, very hard. And I'm not sure. We're going to have to look here and see. I know we got some new partnerships going here, and I wouldn't call them teammates. But you have DJ Masters, Seth Frazier, Chris Walters, Dell Winneberg, Jason Berg, and Donovan Stevens all running together for Hector Strong Racing. So that's a big group of cars right there. Then you have Lone Rangers like James Paulson, Chris White, and Josh Coley. And of course, then you have Wicked Chassis Racing, Jeff Stabnow, Mark Walls, John Ottenbacher, and Sean Breitzman. So some Lone Rangers here tonight, some teammates, and you have Corey Walters and Brian Barnes out there as well. So some Lone Rangers, some teammates going on. A lot of different scenarios can play out based on how those teammates work together. So it's something that we're going to have to just wait and see how it goes. But right now, coming to the line, Frazier has led one lap, and will he lead another is the question, and I believe he does. Indeed he does. Seth Frazier leads his second lap that time by, but he just hasn't quite had enough momentum to stay in front of him. However, he does get ahead of him at certain points during the race, so it's usually at the line when he can just about pull off a little bit of something. But it's just not, again, enough to officially stay ahead of him for the actual full lap and actually get in front of him. So it's something he's going to have to try and do. He needs more help back there if he wants to make anything happen. As we go a little bit back here to Jason Berg, you can see he's got the 38 of Donovan Stevens behind him. And I believe that is that's the 73 of Dell Winterberg that's back there as well. And right now, he's got the momentum. He's side by side, but again, just unable to clear. Those three cars right there, the 89, the 48, and the 00 with the help of the 30 back there as well, really doing a good job of pushing that inside line. Even though that outside line has about 5 cars in it, it's just not enough to do it, as it looks like John Ottenbacher going to go a little bit below the yellow line, but he manages to keep it going. You go too far, and it could spell disaster very easily for you here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that here, as we're going to go ahead and put our normal ticker back up so you can see the gap between these drivers. Chris White pushing this group here a little bit. So let's go back and zoom out so you can see a little bit more, but still some really good battling going on between these this group right here. This is our main group here. We're going to go back a little ways. Brian Barnes, hey, I wouldn't say he's out of it. He's still in the draft, but he is back in 16th place. So I'm wondering if he's at the moment waiting for something to happen and just going to have time to avoid it. Jeff Stabnow back in 15th with him, and then there's Sean Breitzman that's back here as well. So these three drivers really holding off from the rest of the field here. So it's very interesting that they're not getting up there, but I think that's a strategy to not be tangled up in a big wreck that eventually probably will happen. The question is, when will it happen? As you just never know if and when that big wreck will indeed happen. But so far, so good, it hasn't happened. So we'll just have to wait and see if it does, and if it does, who all will be involved in it. So that's something we will be watching for indeed. Again, we do apologize for the bit of a pixelation here that you might be seeing. We are still trying to work on that, but it just is not sorting itself out yet. They are working on it though, so hopefully they can get that sorted out here soon, but it is definitely not where we would like it to be. Hopefully, though, it looks good for the most part anyway. And let's go back to the front, which was about 2 car lengths forward, as we didn't have much separation between first and second here, or anywhere for that matter. Let's look. John Ottenbacher currently 0.33 or 0.33 seconds between him and second. Let's go from first all the way back to 15th, 0.12 seconds. So there's a little bit of a gap there, but you go up just a bit. Up to 12th place, 0.65. You go to 10th place, 0.6. So there's very little gap separating first all the way back to 10th and 12th place. As they're coming to the line right now, it's going to be, I don't know who's going to be at the line. It's going to be John Ottenbacher to lead his 8th lap here. And again, they've split it right now. 8 for John Ottenbacher, 4 for Seth Frazier. They have been up front, and they have actually stayed those two pretty much the entire race back and forth. They are doing a very good job. It's a team versus a group of guys. I wouldn't say necessarily that they are a full-on team, but they are indeed working together here. Again, you have Seth Frazier and Jason Berg. They're partnering up here for Hector Strong Racing. Then you have John Ottenbacher and Mark Walls. They are part of Wicked Chassis Racing. Those are teammates that are working with each other here tonight, of course, as obviously any teammate would. So it's something we will wait to see how it all plays out and who comes out to victory lane. Yeah, we do. Well, yeah, we have a lot of leagues, so they definitely go to Talladega quite a bit, as well as some other tracks. But yeah, they're definitely one of the favorite tracks of a lot of people for the plate track racing. And it looks like, here we go, the 32 of Seth Frazier and the 21 are going to duck down, and they're going to get in front of Mark Walls. He had to back off there a little bit. That's going to push him all the way back to 6th place. As now he will lose a few spots, but we'll see if he can get back up there. Meanwhile, the rest of this field here, as we talked about, Jeff Stabnow falling back a little bit. He's working with Brian Barnes, and he also has his teammate Sean Brightsman in front of him. They are staying just close enough to stay in this draft as they're going 3 wide up front. Let's go back up there. And they make it work, and they settle back for 2 wide. And, well, never mind. They're going to stay 3 wide as somebody's out there. That is Josh Coley, who did not qualify. He is hung dry on the outside. Will he be able to get down, or will he lose a few spots here as he had worked his way into the top 10? He's currently still there in 8th. But if he can't get down fast enough, he will potentially lose more, but that's not going to happen because here goes the 36 of Chris Walters. He's going to go up there and join him on the high side, but he's not sticking with him. He's going to dive back down and leave Josh Coley out there all by himself. So Josh Coley needs to get down as quickly as possible, but he can't just dive down whenever he wants. He's got to wait for an opening. So we'll see if he can find that opening here soon, as again, so crucial that you do not want to get too far back here. If you get too far back and you lose the draft, then you're definitely out of luck. However, it's just a combination of staying behind and not being involved in the wreck. As there you see this group, Mark Walls going back to hang with his teammate here, or 2 teammates, as Sean Brightsman and Jeff Stabnow. So the only teammate left is John Ottenbacher. He's sitting right here in the middle of things at the moment. So this is a very interesting scenario that you have one teammate out front leading the laps here who's led 10. Donovan Stevens has led 1 now, and he may have the push to get to the front. However, the rest of his teammates are back towards the back of this field, so a lot of different things going on here that we didn't expect to see. Yeah, there definitely are. Again, we want to apologize for the pixelation here, as it is just horrible right now. This is probably the worst we've seen it. We definitely need to get Spectrum out here to look at this, as it is just beyond what it's been here as far as pixelation goes. So we do apologize for that, as we are monitoring it, and it is definitely not where we would like it to be as far as that pixelation does go. It started out good, but then it's definitely got worse as we went. But we're monitoring that while we're watching this race as well. It's not too bad up front here. We have a change though. John Ottenbacher now on the high side, which is different. He has been towards the bottom all night long, and we have about, I'd say, 2 to 4 laps before pit stops do engage here. So these drivers will start to filter to the bottom, trying to make something happen so that they can get with teammates here and potentially get to the bottom to get those pit stops underway. So you don't want to be stuck on the high side when pit stops start, as that is just a very bad spot to be. It can definitely cause you problems, cause you to miss your pit stall altogether, and if you're running it to the very last second, you very well could run out of fuel. So I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue for these guys, mainly for the fact that they'll probably come in a lap or two before they could actually run out. We will know here shortly, though, because we are on lap 19. There it is, lap 20. As they will complete lap 20 this time by. Will we see anybody come down pit road this next time? I'm thinking we may see one or two people come down, maybe see a whole group if they're a team or if they're working together. So I'm sure they'll let over the radio and let their competitors know if they are. And we'll definitely find out here shortly. And this is our very late night race. We'll be here for quite a while. We definitely enjoyed this one. Don't enjoy the pixelation we're having here from Spectrum, but we are working on that, trying to get it fixed. We are in communication with them, that stinks. You're having to watch it in 480, although the pixelation is probably a little better there, but I'm not sure. We'll see that we're on lap 21 of 60. This is right in the time here. They will probably start to come in. Some of these guys will probably come in this time. If not, they'll come in on the next time by. Again, we heard about 22 laps is the most they can make it on a 60% tank of fuel. We'll see. We're waiting to see if they come down pit road. Here's where they're going to start peeling off if they're going to do it. And so far, no takers. Nobody coming down pit road. Mark Walls, I say that. So we do have some people come down. Mark Walls just completed his stop, 7.9 seconds. And 7.9 for Sean Brightsman as well. And we're watching this front group. Brian Barnes still on pit road as well. Jeff Stabnow came down pit road for 41.1 seconds, but did not. It's not showing him with any tires or fuel. So I'm not sure what happened there. We'll see if we get a second to go back and look at that. We'll bookmark that to go back and look at it later and figure out what happened to him. Here on lap 22, but it shows him on pit road, but no stop complete. Whereas his teammates are working together, and they did. And both have 7.9 second stops here. So we'll definitely have to check in with Jeff if we get a caution and see what happened there. But so far, none of our leaders have come down as we're on lap 23 right now. I really figured we'd see some of these lead cars come in here, as technically everyone's on the lead lap at the moment, except for Jeff Stabnow, who is one lap down. Again, I'm assuming he probably missed his pit stop there, as we were watching these front guys and didn't see the ones in the back making their pit stops here. If we get a caution, though, we'll definitely go back and see maybe what happened to the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, as we have that spot marked so we can go back to the replay. There, everybody's starting to come down. We kind of figured they would. John Ottenbacher, Josh Coley, not though. We have several drivers coming down at pit road. As you see them there, it's going to be Donovan Stevens, Jason Berg, Dell Winenberg, Chris Walters, Seth Frazier, Daniel Masters, Ray Fournier, Chris White, all these guys coming down to take 4 tires and fuel, assuming they may take 2 tires, as we've already seen that happen here once tonight, actually twice between drivers, as Ray Fournier, it looks like he maybe had to back up there just a little bit. He did, having issues getting into his pit stall here tonight. Chris Walters only showing a 23.4 second stop. I don't see any tires or fuel for him either. So very interesting that we're having 2 people now that are not showing that they actually had a pit stop, just that were on pit lane here. But a split here, as you have Dell Wenenberg, Seth Frazier taking 2 tires in fuel. Jason Berg. Then you have people like Chris White, 4 tires. Donovan Stevens had a slow stop. He took 24.4 seconds on pit road, so he definitely had something happen there. As here comes John Ottenbacher. He's going to take, looks like 4 tires and fuel. No, 10.5. He's going to take 2 tires there as well. 11.6 for Corey Walters. Josh Coley, 11.6 as well. And looks like James Paulson is on pit road, and he's going to take 4 tires and fuel. So a huge mix between things. As here comes Chris Walters back down pit road once again. And he will go in and have to roll forward here. Still cannot get into his pit stall. Something is drastically going wrong here, and I have a feeling whatever this is for the 36s, he cannot get his crew to service that car. I have a feeling this is probably what happened to Jeff Stabnow as well, as they are just not wanting to work on that car for him there. He's just going to peel out of pit road regardless. We'll go back up to the front. So whatever happened there right to Chris Walters, I think probably happened to Jeff Stabnow as well. If we get a caution, though, we will go in and talk to these drivers. Very unfortunate here for those drivers, as it looks like having some connection issues there for Daniel Masters in the 5 machine. Very, very interesting here that something is just not happening on pit stops. As again, Jeff Stabnow back in 11th place now. Again, we talked about it, 41.1 seconds on pit road, but no, he is showing no time for actually being on pit road. So I'm not sure if he did complete a stop. Obviously, he's got some fuel, but I don't know where those tires were, so it's going to be interesting to see. He clearly was on pit road longer than everybody else, so we'll see if he has to come in soon or not. Maybe he is out there hoping for a caution, but right now Mark Walls is leading us. He was one of those that was hanging back along with his teammate Sean Bryson. They were holding back in this field and had not jumped to the front right away, and here they are out front leading this race, as they were one of the first ones to come down at pit road as well. So pit stops have completed here for the first round. We are caution free here at Talladega Super Speedway, as of course you are watching the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff Race 160 here at Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to step away here. We'll go non-stop, and we will be right back after a quick commercial break. We'll go non-stop. All right, we are back here as we are just about at the halfway point. As when they complete lap 31, we will officially be at the halfway point. We'll see definitely who is leading at the halfway point. As there it is, lap 30 is underway. When they complete this lap, we will officially be halfway done with this race. We'll see. We'll go through your top 5 as soon as they come to the line. But definitely been some great racing here between everybody. As right now, Mark Wall's leading this race. Again, Jeff Stabnow and maybe having some issues on pit road, as well as we know Chris Walters did. He's currently 1 lap down here at the moment. That's very unfortunate for him, as we will see they are going to come to the line this time by. So we'll go ahead and go through your top 5 as right about there they should get to the line. Your top 5 after 30 laps completed. It is the 41 of Mark Walls, followed by the 46 of Sean Breitzman. Then the 3rd place currently is the 21 of Jason Berg. 4th place currently the 73 of Dell Winterberg. And 5th place is the 4 of Brian Barnes. Those are your top 5 drivers at the halfway point here for tonight's race. 30 laps completed as we are still racing. We're going to go ahead and put up your chase ticker here. Again, anybody that you see has a little green bar that says chase driver, they are officially in the chase here, as this is race number 1 here in the playoffs. Unfortunately, no. If it is an issue like that, it's so rare that you couldn't guarantee that it wouldn't happen again. So they will run as is. It rarely happens, though. It's unfortunate when it does, but there would be no redo. It would just be chalked up to a iRacing issue. That it has happened before, and it'll bite you sometimes. Sometimes it helps you. So. They've just about everybody in here has been on the receiving end of it or the helping end of it. So, unfortunately, the race would not be redone. It would just have to run as is. Sean Breitzman trying to run down his teammates, but I really don't think he's going to try to get by him anytime soon. However, Jason Berg, I'm really kind of surprised that we haven't seen these back two maybe try to go up there and make something happen. But they're not doing it here. I figure if they stay like this and this race continues the way it is, we have about 11 laps before they come back down pit road. So if that's the case, I think that Jason Berg and Dale Winterberg may try to get in front of these guys, or at least get beside them and make it a 2-on-2 battle. But right now, there's no need to press the issue too much. Just kind of hang tight there and do your thing, race it out. And the more these guys stay together here, as you go back to 5th place of Brian Barnes, who I might add, I do not believe took qualifying time, started in the back. That started 14th. He's in 5th right now, been as low as 16th. His high is 5th place where he resides right now. And right behind him is John Ottenbacher, who has been as high as 1st place, led 14 laps. He still, at this point in the race, leads the most laps, led with 14. But Mark Walls would love to change that, as he is currently led 9. And we've had 11 different lead changes here. Sean Breitzman with the fastest time on lap 10. Quite a bit ago, 24 laps ago to be exact. So we'll see if Sean Breitzman can get back to the front of this field, as we saw him get kind of hung out to dry earlier and had to go pick up his teammate, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. And then Mark Walls, who is now leading this race, went back there with him to pick him up. But he has since made his way back to the front of the race. And yes, it is a playoff race. So this is race number 1 in the round 1 of eliminations. There are 2 other races after tonight. And those 2 races will be next week, which will be Dover, and on the 10th will be Auto Club. Then we move on to round number 2. So, hey, a lot of racing is still left here in the season. 7 or so races to go. But definitely a lot to look forward to here, as we have a lot of great racing in store. And again, we're just monitoring stuff here as well on our end to make sure everything is working good here. We do apologize for a little bit of pixelation that we do have going on. But right now, Sean Brightsman just hanging back here with his teammate. Again, we were really counting on maybe having a caution here tonight so we could talk to Jeff Stabnow and see exactly what happened on pit road there, as we're not showing a pit stop for him. Clearly, he did have a pit stop. Otherwise, there is no way he could have made it another 16 laps. That would be 36 laps on fuel. There is no way he could have made it that far. So, he definitely did take tires there. And in this series, they do run some road courses, but they do not run rovals. However, with the addition of Charlotte Roval coming out in December here for our iRacing members, it is a possibility that next season may include that. Again, we can't guarantee that, as we don't have a say in the schedule for them. But it is a possibility that you could see that. Yeah, definitely one-to-one racing can be fun. And keep in mind here, we're on lap 37 of 60. We still got another caution coming in. Pit stops coming in. So this could change up too. These four may not want to pit together. Then again, they may. So we got that group, and then you have this group. So we'll see when they come down pit road. Will these four come together, or will they try to split it up and change how they're working together? As you have this group of four, then in this group you have another teammate of theirs, Mark Wall, Sean Brightsman, in that first group. Then John Ottenbacher is back here with this other group. So they could potentially try to shake it up and change how they do things around here. So we're going to be watching all of this to see just how they do work it all out. But again, right there, Sean Brightsman in second and Mark Walls in first. So you look at fourth place, that's what we're going to go to right now. Dale Winneberg, he is currently 0.25 seconds behind first place. Then you go to fifth place, who's 5.3 seconds behind. So if I'm Brian Barnes, John Ottenbacher, Josh Coley, Seth Frazier, this second group right here, the odds of you catching them, you probably will. It's possible. That gap is shrinking, but if I'm them, I'm going to short pit here by 1 lap, and I'm going to try to get that advantage. As we see them coming down here on lap 39, no surprise there, as we did, but so did the rest of your front guys as well. So they saw them coming down, so they're not going to be able to short pit them here. As Mark Walls, your current leader, we'll watch him to see if all goes well here for pit road. He gets in, slides it to a stop, and it looks like no, he's having issues on pit road as well. It is not. Oh, no, he's not. Correction. Fuel only for him. He took no tires for Mark Walls here on lap 40 of 60. 20 laps to go, as Jeff Stabnow is your new race leader, followed by the 00 of Chris White. Fuel only for Mark Walls. We knew somebody would probably do it. He did it here tonight. These guys are taking it here. His tires are not really that important anyway. So this could get very interesting to see if those tires do play much of a factor, if any at all. But so far, not too big a surprise to see some of these guys take fuel only. The question is, when will Jeff Stabnow come down, as he is now led some laps here to get those bonus points. Again, bonus points will help you advance to the next round, but once we get to the next round, all bets are off, and it will reset. Everyone will have the same amount of points. So different stuff is on the line. Then you don't have those bonus points for the wins and stuff like that. So going in knowing that everyone will have, say, 2,000 points and be dead even, that changes things a lot for these drivers. They have to be very careful in order not to, I don't even know how to say this, but to not worry too much about racking up points here, because it doesn't matter. What this is really about for these chase drivers is the win. If they can get that win, they are locked in, and then they have to worry about getting the next win. That is the best way to secure yourself in. Obviously, you can get in on points as well, but you'd rather get in on the win and take that stress off of your back and not have to worry about it. Jeff Stabenow currently doing that at the moment, leading this race, but I'm not sure if the strategy is going to work out for him, as he will have some of the freshest tires, but he's going to have to get in and get out. If he takes tires, he'll have the freshest tires anyway, as he comes down pit road, and he is going to be followed by Chris White coming down. Donovan Stevens and James Paulson and Jason Berg not with that group. Oh, as Jeff Stabenow goes around on pit road, what happened to Jeff Stabenow? We've got to go back and take a look what happened to him. We'll see it from the different angle if we can, as he's coming down pit road. Oh, and locks the tires up coming down pit road in too hot, and causing almost a pile up on pit road. Let's go back one more time here. Let's go to the blimp camera here as you're watching the 24, the first car coming down pit road. No caution will come out for this right here. In way too hot, locks it up, spins them around. That right there is a bad, costly mistake on pit road, and that will potentially cost him a win here tonight, as he will probably go a lap down for sure. It's very unfortunate here for Jeff Stabenow to go spinning the car around on pit road after locking the brakes up. Got in way too hot to pit road. That is very unfortunate for him. But now out front is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg. He already has 3 wins on the season. Will he make it his 4th and lock himself into the playoffs? Is right about now is when we expected them to come in for their pit stops, as most people have come in a little bit sooner. So everyone here does have 2 pit stops, except for Jeff Stabenow for that first pit stop. For some reason, acting a little funny. So not sure what did happen there. On that first pit stop, we may not know for a while as to what exactly did happen, but something obviously happened there that definitely did not sit well with his pit stop, or with him. But maybe we'll be able to talk to him a little bit after this race. But just an unfortunate deal for him. We'll see. Right now you're watching the 21, the 73. That's Jason Berg, Dale Winneberg, Mark Walls, Josh Coley's in this mix right now with these guys. However, Josh Coley is 1 lap down currently at the moment, back in 12th, and he's got heavy damage to the back of the car. So very interesting to see what could potentially have happened there, as he does have damage on the back side of that car. We're keeping an eye on that. And Wells, we got Mark Walls. Looked like he bumped the apron there just a little bit. Everybody's playing fairly nice here, staying single file for the moment. So this could get interesting to see if and when they're going to start making their move here. We usually say 10 to go is when that's going to happen. Is that would be coming up in 5 laps here, or 4 if you want to get technical about it. So we're on lap 46. So start at lap 50. I would expect these guys to start getting, I wouldn't say aggressive, But definitely they're going to start pushing it a little bit more. Is that, of course, is going to be kind of the go time here for these drivers to make something happen. So something we'll be watching for throughout the night here. As there's Jeff Stab now. He is currently 1 lap down. He's going to have to let these guys go. However, he's got a nice, clean car, so he's fast, just not on the lead lap. So while he may not have a shot here of tonight's win, he could very well push his teammates to the win if he can hang on to the draft and stay with them. So, just because his night is over doesn't mean that it is over here for the rest of his team. He could still potentially try to help them as well. So, it's, again, something we will be watching for to see if he pushes his team to the win. Right now, Jason Berg, again, is set to possibly win his 4th race of the season and lock himself into round 2 if he could do so. So can he put it into victory lane once again here tonight? And we'll wait and see. Mark Wall's out front at the moment. Will that stay? There's only 3 versus 4, but those are 3 teammates that are going to work each other very good. They're very good at working with each other. So we'll see. They're coming up to start lap 49. Jeff Stabnow trying to push his teammate to the front, as well as the 46. Those two are on the lead lap. And I correct myself. No, the 46, Sean Brightsman, not on the lead lap. I stand corrected. I was thinking of John Ottenbacher, who is back here in this group. He's on the lead lap. Sean Brightsman is not. So right now, Mark Walls has 2 lap cars of his teammates. Sean Brightsman 3 laps down. Jeff Stabnow 1 lap down, pushing him. So right now, Mark Walls is sitting in a very good spot. Obviously, you want to get the win, and you would try to maybe pass the 48, but there's no need. You would get a lap back, but you wouldn't be winning the race. So he's in a good spot. Now I think he's even in a better spot than he was. You have control of the inside lane, and your team has control of the outside lane. They're not going to let anybody by you. They know that their shot at winning probably isn't too good here, as Mark Walls goes below the line there. He may have a little bump from Jason Berg. It's unfortunately, it's part of plate racing. Sometimes they can get you just a little wrong. Good news, if the 21 did bump him a little bit wrong, he did let off and to let him get back on the track. So that is good. And now they're starting to really shake it up here with 10 laps to go when they get to the line. As you saw, the 48, or the 21 to Jason Berg, tried to go up and get in that outside lane, and the 48 was going to go with him. He does not want to let him get up there like he's about to do. He's going to follow him up the track if he has to. And that could be a race-winning move or not. We'll see. As they're 3 wide now, the 21 to Jason Berg may have just made a costly mistake there, because obviously the 46 and the 24 are going to work with their teammate before anybody else, and they kind of leave him stuck in the middle here, but they're going to have to pick him up here. Mark Walls pulling a signature move from Dale Earnhardt's senior's book. He's going up and down this track trying to defend his lead, as he's going to come back down in front of the 21. And this is signature super speedway racing right here. It's just crazy how it happens. But right now, the 48 is definitely trying to defend the best he can right now. And things like this, unfortunately, could lead to bad things happening. And if we were to see a caution come out, it would have to come out very quickly, or we would not go racing again. As of right now, we would go racing if a caution was to come out. But so far, caution-free here at Talladega Super Speedway. As, again, we go ahead and put up your top 3 here real fast so you can see. It is the 48 of... I'm not sure why his name's not showing up there either, but... should be. I'm just not sure why it's not. But it is Mark Walls, Jason Berg, and Dale Winneberg. Those are your top three, as they're all on the inside lane. The outside lane is basically lap cars. Actually, it is all lap cars now, as the 46, the 24, and the 33 are all lap down cars. And actually, the 5 of Daniel Masters is a lap car as well. So you actually have 4 lap cars and 3 lead lap cars here right now. And that is going to be interesting when it comes down to 5 to go here, or even the excuse me, final lap, because of the fact that even though they're lap cars, some of these are working together as teammates for the day, I guess you could say, here on at Talladega, and then you have actual teammates working together. So Jason Berg may try to pull out again here in a minute, as we're fixing to start lap 54 of 60. It's already proven right now, though, that whatever the 21 does, the 48 is going to try to follow suit. He's going to try to keep him from getting to that outside line and being able to get the lead. Again, he's doing exactly what he needs to do to win this race and lock himself into that next round. So it's no surprise that he's doing just that. As let's zoom in on here just a little bit and see what we can find out here. As you can see right there, the 48 and the 21 bumper to bumper. They couldn't be any closer on this track without actually hitting each other. And that's the thing with super speedway racing. Being directly on their bumper is not always as fast as being a little bit off of their bumper, and you may see them stagger a little bit too. So that they can do so. But let's go back here to the front. There we go. We were back on the 46 back there instead. But there is the 2 that we want to keep an eye on. You never know. If these 2 get tangled up, the 48 of Mark Walls, the 21 of Jason Berg here, is there going to be 5 to go at the next lap? We could see Dale Winneberg get his first win here in the series in that number 73 machine, as he's getting a push from the 5, and it gets him a little squirrely. He has to get out of the gas for the 5 anyway. Again, the 5 of Daniel Masters here, he is currently 1 lap down. So at this point, coming to the line, as there it is, coming up anyway. It's a little further back from there when you think it would be. It's right, and there it is, the line. 5 laps to go. If a caution was to come out, this race would be over. Everyone wants to get to the lead. This is the point of no return. You want to get to the lead, but you do not want to do it and cause a caution. And there goes the 21 out to the outside lane. The 48 of Mark Walls has nothing he can do about it at this point. He's got to hold on to it, and I don't know if he's going to clear him. He does barely clear the 48 of Mark Walls. Now Mark Walls is sitting in a good spot, though. He's got his teammates on the outside, and there he goes to the outside. He has 2 teammates plus Josh Coley to push him. So can he get up there? This is going to be a knockout drag battle between the 48 and the 21. 2 very competitive, very fast drivers. The good news for the 48 is he has a distinct advantage of those teammates, as Josh Coley's going to take it to the outside and make it 3 wide. We'll see which lane will have the advantage. Will he be working with his teammates? We don't know what their radio communications are like right now. But will the 48, he could be telling his teammates, hey, push me, get me in front of him, so I can get down and get in that lane with him. He could be telling them, hey, keep pushing me, push me just ahead of him at the line. That's all I need. So you never know what's going on in the radio communications here between the 48, the 46, and the 24. And if you look here, we'll take a look and see who all is on what team. Dale Winneberg, Jason Berg, DJ Masters or Daniel Masters. They're all in radio communications together as well. And I'm not sure who else is down there with them. So these guys are, the bottom row is in communication with each other. The only one that's not is Josh Coley. He's on his own radio here. So you have those three right there, the two pink cars, the 21, the 73, and the 5 talking together. The 48, the 46, and the 24 talking together. Josh Coley just kind of back there picking a lane. He could be the deciding factor as to who gets the win here tonight in that 33 machine. Oh, this could get very, very interesting here. As looks like, I know he's still in the race, but Sean Brightsman lost a connection here, but he is back, so I was in TeamSpeak, so we'll see. Mark Walls gets the push. He gets back to the lead. 2 laps to go. Going to be 1 to go at the line. Let's zoom out here and see right there. They're fixing to catch some more lap cars. This could be an issue as there goes the 21 back to the outside again. Mark Walls unable to do anything about it as they come to the lap cars of Corey Walters, and I believe that's James Paulson in the 30. It is indeed. And the 48 side by side with the 21. They're coming to the line. This will be 1 lap to go here in the race. It's Mark Walls that has the advantage coming to the line as the 24 and the 46 not right behind the leader, but it's going to be Jason Berg at the line to lead that lap. 1 lap to go here in the race here at Talladega Super Speedway, presented by Northwest Racing Series. Mark Walls trying to fake out to 21. Can he do it is the question. He does. He gets to the outside. Here comes his teammates to the rescue for the 48 of Mark Walls. And, oh, they almost bump him and get him way out of shape. Mark Walls back to the front here with less than a lap to go. This may seal the fate for Jason Berg. He's going to try to get up and make something happen. Not going to happen. He cuts to the inside. Mark Walls holding on for dear life right now. Everything he has, they're side by side. They touch going to the line. Who is it going to be? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Jason Berg did get it at the line. I don't think you could have asked for a better finish here between Jason Berg and Mark Walls. But it is Jason Berg that does get it by 0.014 seconds at the line. They're beating and banging, and it will be officially Jason Berg that gets the win here tonight in the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff Race 160 here at Talladega Super Speedway. Before we head over to the post-race show, we're going to go through your unofficial race results here for tonight, as it has been an absolute awesome race, and it couldn't have ended any better. So let's go ahead and get your unofficial race results, as I will get rid of that and bring up the results. Coming away with the win, again, barely by 0.014, is going to be Jason Berg, followed by Mark Walls in second place. Third place is going to be the 73 of Dale Winneberg. Fourth place will be the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Fifth place will be the 00 of Chris White. Sixth place is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes. Looks like seventh place is, we're getting mixed up here. Seventh place is, to me, is going to be the 5 of Daniel Masters. Eighth place is going to be the 24 Jeff Stabnow. They're getting a little wonky and out of order there on us. Not sure what place. Ninth, it looks like it's going to be the 9 of Corey Walters, and 10th is going to be the 32 of Seth Walters. We'll see if that fixes itself here for us in a little bit. 11th place is going to be the 30 of James Paulson, as they are complete out of order here. 12th place is going to be the 38 of Donovan Stevens. 13th place is 33 of Josh Coley. 14th is going to be the 36 of Chris Walters. 15th will be the 46 of Sean Brightsman. And 16th here, 16th will be the 46th, Sean Brightsman. We're showing a 17th going to the 28 of William Fletcher. They are completely out of order in there. We do apologize for that. But that will do it for your unofficial race results. We'll be right back here in just a few moments for your post-race show. So don't go anywhere. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with your post-race show from Talladega Superspeedway. Finishing in third place here tonight is going to be the 73 of Dale Winneberg. Started 7th, you went as low as 9th, as high as 2nd, and got your way back to third place here tonight. Didn't lead any laps, but still an outstanding run here for you. So what was this race like? Let's start just with those last, I would say, 15 laps, as it was getting really crazy and fun looking up there at the front of that track, or from the race.
Oh yeah, that was one heck of a finish. I was just sticking with Jason because I know he's in the playoffs or the chase, and I was just hoping that he got the win. I just did everything I could to help him.
Oh, definitely, if somebody's in the chase, you're working with them. I know we heard earlier that Jason had a I don't know what you'd call it, a friendly invite to be.
Deal.
Yeah, one race partnership there. Obviously, it worked out great for him. We'll be talking to him, of course, here in just a minute. But coming in to the race, obviously you wanted to get the win yourself. And you came really close to doing it. So at what point, knowing that he's in the chase trying to advance, did it flip from you want to get the win to trying to help him advance to the next round?
It was about halfway through the race when we came out together in the pits, and I know Mark Walls was in the playoffs, and he was battling with Jason for the playoffs, and I knew I didn't want to ruin their chances because you never know if they'll ever make it in the next couple races, so I just turned to just helping Jason.
You definitely did a good job pushing him to the win here tonight. Before we move to second place, of course, do you have any sponsors or anyone you just want to give a shout out to out there?
Well, I just want to thank VRN for putting all this on, and all the awesome races out here to make this a fun race.
Well, definitely, again, congrats on third place. Finishing in second place here tonight, barely, like we said, by .014 seconds, who started first, actually went as low as 14th, went back and picked up two of his teammates, and obviously got as high as first, led 23 laps here. You actually led the most laps still, just short of the win. So the rest of the race was interesting, but we want to talk about those last probably 5 laps.
Oh yeah, I knew they were working together. I was the only guy up there in the pack on the lead lap, and I knew the lap down cars would kind of back off there to battle it out at the end. So we had to make it a Talladega exciting finish, and I think me and Jason put on a hell of a show.
You definitely did that, and we were watching you earlier there, as we knew as soon as we saw Jason Berg trying to make some moves and you going up to try to stop that movement happen. A classic super speedway, a classic Dale Earnhardt Sr. move to go up there and some people, I don't consider it blocking. You're trying to kill that momentum. That's exactly what you have to do at a track like this. You've got to stop him from getting that momentum or getting to that outside lane where he can try to make the pass. For a big chunk of those last 5 laps, you did an awesome job, and then just happened to get by you there on the last one. But just as a driver's mindset, for all the fans out there watching, what is the mindset knowing you have 5 laps to go and what you have to do to try to secure that win?
Anything. And it shows right there. That finish explains everything. I think coming down to the checker, when contact was made in the trial, it was going to be contact until we cross the line and see who's going to win. That's the mentality of the plate tracks, and man, it was fun. I mean, we battled throughout the whole race, so both can hang on to it, and it was a blast.
It was a blast to watch here in the booth. I can only imagine what it was like for you two in the cars. But we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs. So who would those be here for that second place here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Walls Beard Co. Man, that 48 Chevy Camaro was fast, dude. It was exciting being up front. We went back for a little bit, didn't like it up in the front. So went back with the teammates, and after pit stops, made it right back up there to battle with Jason and Dale and put on a show for you guys. And got to thank the teammates, Wicked Chassis. Got to thank VRN for putting on these awesome broadcasts for us. We can go back and watch finishes like that and races like that, caution free at Talladega. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Says a lot about our drivers we got with the series, and it's looking forward to the rest of the chase.
Well, definitely, we're looking forward to it as well. And coming in with the win here tonight, only led 10 laps, but that's all it took. As it was literally, we'd said it would be a knockdown drag-out battle, and it was a knockdown drag-out battle, literally beating and banging all the way to the start-finish line. That is the 21 of Jason Berg for your 4th win here of the season, and that will put you into the round of 2. You started 2nd, went as low as 7th, and came back to win the race by .014 seconds. So, same thing, you had a great race all night, but that's not what the fans want to hear about right now. They want to know about those last 5 laps, and what was it like, literally, door to door. You could have reached out and grabbed Mark Walls' net there on his car those last 2 laps.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. He definitely drove a great race, and I didn't think I was going to get him at the end there. Honestly, I knew that Sean and Jeff, unfortunately, had gone a lap down, but they were his teammates, and I could tell when they joined back up with their pack after the last pit stop that they were going to do everything they could to help him out. And luckily, I had Dale there. He did an awesome job. I mean, he didn't have to help me out as much as he did, but he did amazing. I couldn't ask for a better pusher at the end there.
Well, it definitely pays to have good friends at a plate track like this. Again, it pretty much sums it up. You're in the chase now, and now you have officially advanced. Again, we're almost speechless at this point because it was such a crazy finish. But knowing that win is done, you're in round 2. How much pressure does that relieve off you, knowing you have 2 weeks that you could try to get a win, but if you don't and you wreck out or something happens, that it's not going to affect you as bad?
I think you said it just as well as I could right there, that I got 2 weeks where I don't really have to worry about it. Just kind of try to keep the momentum going, really try to get good finishes, but if I wreck, it's not going to be the end of the world, so that's always good peace of mind. But as far as tonight goes, yeah, that was so much fun. I think that's why we all enjoy iRacing so much, because you can have battles like that where you're sweating at the end of it because it was so intense. I mean, I was definitely up on the wheel for that, and like I said, Mark drove a great race. That was so much fun.
Definitely, it was a great race. And, of course, before we let you go here, you got any sponsors on that car, or anyone out there watching you just want to give a shout-out to?
First and foremost, G-Force Aerial Media. They're my main sponsor. VRN, for you putting this on, Charles. You did a great job. And like Dale said, all the racers that make this fun series to race in.
Well, definitely congrats on the win here tonight. And that will do it here for the post-race show. As, again, we got to go get something to calm us down, as that was a crazy finish, to say the least. But before we officially sign off for the night, we need to thank all the sponsors, of course, here on the racing side, ourselves here at VRN, and playing double duty here for the race and the broadcast, of course, Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com, especially here in the month of November for No Shave November. A very inexpensive gift for Christmas as well. So obviously take care of that beard. Trust me, we've said it many times. The ladies will love it if you take care of it. So make sure you do so. All natural and organic products. So head on over to wallsbeardco.com today. And, of course, Northwest Racing Series, your official one-to-go sponsor. And, of course, we cover them here tonight. And we'll be back on Wednesday night with some truck racing for the first round of the playoffs there at Talladega as well. Ohio IndyCar League. If you're looking to get into some IndyCar racing, there's no better place to go than Ohio IndyCar League. SimSpeedShop.com for all your custom button box and e-brakes. Check them out at SimSpeedShop.com. And last but not least, that is iPog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Make sure you check them out if you're looking to get into broadcasting. That does it here for tonight's race. We will see you Wednesday night for the truck race here for Northwest, and we will see you Tuesday night, tomorrow night, for our normal race core race. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you there.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.